Hello, good morning, and welcome to a crispy, crunchy episode of the Bitter Third podcast. Coming to you live, not live, we're not live this time, actually. Cancel that. We're coming to you pre-recorded on a Thursday in May. I'm one of your hosts, Matt, and I'm joined by a couple of my homies, Taryn and Brandon. Taryn and Brandon, are you guys doing all right? How has your day been? How has your week been? What's up, guys?
Pretty good. I am recording audio this time, so that's always nice.
Taryn is on the ball. God, after how many episodes that it never happened, and then suddenly one day it happened. I mean, I'm not fully blaming you because it is like a weird freak thing that happened. I really thought it was funny, but
at least you noticed it when you did.
True.
Yeah.
On a Friday night.
At the perfect time.
Yeah.
I got home. I'm like, I'm gonna edit the podcast, and I started editing, and I opened up everybody's files. And it's just me and Brandon are fine, and then in Terrence's is just a blank. Like it recorded an hour of nothing. And oh man.
How funny would it have been if you had waited until Sunday night to do the editing?
That would have been bad.
Yeah, it would have been rough. It would have been a little rough. We got to figure it out. We recorded, I think, a pretty fucking banger episode. I've listened to it back a little bit. I listened to it both on your Twitch channel before it went on the YouTube, and also a little bit on the YouTube, and I feel like it was a good episode.
Yeah, it definitely was.
A funny one.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of good zingers. I'm going to try to bring that energy to this episode today.
Yeah.
By first asking a hypothetical question before we get into the topics for today. The hypothetical question of the day is, do you think the popular children's snack Ants on a Log would be just as popular if it was called A Log with Ants on It? Discuss.
No.
I don't even know what I don't even know what that is.
I believe it's celery with peanut butter and raisins on it.
Oh.
Yeah, you take a stick of celery, that's the proverbial log. You put the peanut butter that's like bark, and then you put
raisins for the ants. Yep.
Yeah. Would you eat that? Would you crush an ant on a log right now, Brandon? How much?
No, I'm not a big celery person, honestly.
Really?
I like celery and peanut butter. That's always like one of my favorite snacks as a kid.
Yeah, celery it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't like it. I get wore out of celery.
Yeah.
Makes my mouth tired.
That's true.
But I do eat it every now and then. And I feel like buying celery is like the worst
part of it
you can make. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got to buy like a pound and a half of it.
Yeah, then you got to cut it all up.
Yeah, you cut it all up. You got to eat it like you're a goddamn like
savage.
like like you're a savage, or like you're some sort of gerbil sitting in a cage just like munching away at it. Like, come on.
And then it gets a little stringy.
Yeah. I just need like 3 of these for the soup that I want to make once a year.
You know, it's probably a better investment than my goddamn NFT racehorse.
That's probably true.
Yeah, Brandon's big into NFTs and racehorses. Combine the two, that's what you get.
Maybe it got taken out back and shot after it lost the race.
Fucking, your NFT gets deleted, man.
That's rip.
I love that Brandon constantly builds up like a mythology around himself, and he said this, and I honestly, I know him pretty well, but I don't know if that's true or not. Did he have an actual NFT racehorse? Don't tell me, Brandon. I want it to remain a mystery.
Episode 100 will be the tell-all.
Oh, there we go.
Racehorse gravesite revealed. What was its name? What was its theoretical name?
That's for the internet to discuss.
Okay.
Question. What do I name the horse?
All right.
I would like to name a horse Camel Toe Yoga Pants. That's my horse. That's the horse I want to raise.
Guys, we should probably have a discussion though about advertisement revenue and maybe possibly buying an NFT for the podcast.
Oh, Taryn, is this where we bring up our sponsors for the day?
Sure.
All right, you do one and I'll do the other one. All right, this episode All right, Taryn, take us away. Tell us who this episode is brought to us by.
This episode is sponsored by the Mississippi River's hottest cruise ship.
Fuck yeah.
We'll talk more about it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do I feel like I know exactly what this is?
I don't know what it is at all.
I'm curious if I want to know what this is, but
All right.
Well, I'll bring up my sponsor later. I'll interrupt the episode, and I'll give us that because the Mississippi's hottest cruise ship is so scintillating. Is that the word? Tantalizing. It's making me hot, baby. Let's get into that shit, Taryn. Bring it up.
Well, I
What's
was
it
going to
about?
ask
What do we
you
gotta know?
kindly, could you actually tell us a brief prelude to about Andersonville? Because we've already done a podcast about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know all about Andersonville down in Georgia.
Yeah.
Down in Georgia. Fort Sumter was its proper name, I think.
Yep.
And it was a massive prison camp for the Union soldiers down in the South. They took them there. They rounded them up. It was like a modern concentration camp, but in 1865 or so, like that. Like people living in tents, wallowing in their own filth, drinking urine, like
Yep.
Bear Grylls does. Chewing on rats' bones because they're so hungry. And they're just down there. There's about 40,000 people down there, I think, at a time.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's how many died. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think the prison could only house like half of that, though.
Oh.
And so people were just fucking in tents crammed together like sardines, bro.
So it was overcrowded.
Yeah. Yeah, it was way overcrowded.
All right.
That was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Also the racism. Racism,
That was
big problem.
that was probably the main problem.
That was one of the problems in the South.
All right. So thank you for that, because my story actually picks up from after Andersonville. Just as a question, do you guys know how the North and the South release prisoners?
No. Yeah, I mean, like, I know they would often trade back and
Yeah.
forth, but like I don't. Okay, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Do you know
Not like
what the
method.
ratio of the trade was? Like, was it a 2-to-1?
no,
was
I
it
have-
1-to-1? Well,
I have no clue.
it was 1-to-1.
Oh,
And the problem became when the federal government was actually wanting their Union soldiers back, which obviously rightfully so, because they won the war. And they were actually willing to pay to get their soldiers released, and there was a 1-to-1 ratio. Well, the South had so many Union soldiers, they had logistical issues of getting the soldiers back. If you're talking about Andersonville with all the soldiers crammed and obviously all the famine and disease that went along with that, well, a large majority of those POWs are transferred to near Vicksburg's, Mississippi's, and they were going to be shipped up the Mississippi River, and they were using steamboats at the time because that was the technology they had. Now,
it was the fashion of the day. Yes.
now this also kind of, I guess, ask the question: what kind of power and how dangerous are steamboats at the time? Did you guys know a steam boiler blew one out of every 4 days?
Oh,
that's
okay.
a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I know that looking at the wreckages of steam boilers that have exploded is like looking at some sort of Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah, it's like a bomb.
I don't know if you've ever. Yeah, it's like a bomb with a bunch of pipes and shit in it. It's terrifying to
Yes.
look at and to imagine. Like that's. Yeah.
So, if you're unfamiliar with how a steamboat works, it actually takes water in as it's drifting up or down the river, and it actually uses the water to boil to make steam to create power to spin the turbines that are the paddle wheels. Now, there's two different designs of ships that can have the paddle wheels. You got the main big one on the back, kind of like a motor for a boat.
Yeah, like your classic looking like paddle.
Yeah.
Paddle boy.
And then you also had the less common, but the two paddles on the sides of the boat.
Oh.
And that's for mobility, because that way they can turn quicker. That was kind of a big deal because they wanted to turn around and go back downstream or upstream on like a dime. So that was the main advantage, rather than just having it from the rear where they can, turn it slowly and arc it like a rudder.
Right. Yeah, they'd have to use just a rudder to turn rather than
but
the motors themselves.
But the water, when it comes into the boiler, it's got all that gunk and all that. It's river water, so it's going to be muddy. It's going to be crusty. It's not going to be very clean at all, and that gets inside the boiler, and that's a problem because when you don't have water and you're heating a tank, it's going to create pressure. And that's what causes explosions.
Real quick, just a brief aside. I'm looking at Vicksburg, Mississippi right now. Did you know there's a river that runs by and into the Mississippi called the Yazoo River? That's fun.
No, I did not.
Sorry. Yep. The Yazoo.
So that's interesting. One of the steamboats that was built was in 1863, and it was built in Cincinnati, and it was the Sultana.
Nice.
And just to clarify,
no idea about this.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's got paddles on both sides of the boat. It's not the one major one.
It's one of the fancy.
Yeah, it's the fancy ones.
Deals.
It was kind of a marvel at the time. It was one of the bigger, I think one of the biggest of its kind. Nearly 260 feet long, built primarily with wood and 4 boilers, massive power paddle wheels. It can carry about 300 to 400 passengers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also a brief aside. It always amazes me when I see pictures of like river travel and stuff, or like you'll go to a city like St. Louis, there'll be like pictures of the Mississippi River in like downtown St. Louis, and there's just barges and boats parked all along the bank, and it's that's like how people got around. It wasn't just for like shipping grain and corn up and down. They were like passenger boats that was like riding the train back in the day. That shit is a marvel of engineering. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
400 passengers in 1863.
Yeah, it's a lot of passengers.
Insane.
Yeah. Now, I was going to kind of bring this to today. What's one of the biggest problems today in today's society? I guess government or just today.
In today's society, I would have to say, I don't know. Is it racial inequality? Is it monetary inequality?
It's kind of like monetary.
I'd say it's way too many people.
Oh, way too many people. That's a good one too. Well, we're going to get into the overcrowding a little bit.
Overpopulation.
We're going to get into the overcrowding in a bit, but I would say it's probably corruption.
Corruption, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
It all kind of hand in hand in one way or the other, but yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'd say corruption makes sense.
One greedy captain of the Sultana and one, I think it was Southern officer that at the POW camp was trying to get rid of the POWs because they wanted money, because the federal government was paying $5 for every enlisted and $10 for every officer, which is a lot of money back in that time.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Insane amount.
Yeah. So the federal government really wanted their soldiers back. Well, as a captain trying to make some money, actually, I didn't even mention this, but the captain actually already lost a different ship because it was he was under some type of like investigation because of negligence, I think. So this is his second ship.
Oh, did that ship also go mysteriously up in flames?
Well, you kind of jumping the gun there, Brandon. But he wanted to make as much money as he could, and he was trying to capitalize on the Sultana. However, one of his boilers was cracked, and he went to a different town and had the local mechanic patch it with some rivets. Now, this is going to be sounding kind of like the other story we did with the molasses, where they just rivet a bunch of steel work to it.
They don't take the time to make it right.
Yeah. So I like the story because it's dark and depressing, which we're gonna get to, and it's also like it ties into the other stories we have done, and also not a lot of people actually know about it. Obviously, you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I've never even heard a lick of this.
I heard the story on another podcast, but
Okay.
Ooh. Brag about it.
Also,
Yeah.
I am not doing this story any justice. If you guys want, you can go and research it on your own, because I'm just kind of giving the overarching story of what happened. There's so much more to the story as well.
if you want a deeper dive into this, listen to Well, There's Your Problem.
Okay. There you go.
Shout out to what's his name, Bill something. No, that's was that Adam Savage that said that? I was thinking of the one guy that says, "There's your sign."
Oh.
Blue collar comedy.
You're
You know who I'm talking about.
Bill Engvall.
Bill Engvall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's. When you accidentally misattribute Bill Engvall with Adam Savage.
I'm sure that's
I don't know how you mix them up.
I
but-
don't know either.
Well, I don't.
Maybe if the next time you go to see Adam Savage, you should say, "Hey, I love it when you say, well, there's your sign."
Yeah, I'll bring a blue collar comedy DVD or something you can sign. Yeah. Also, I don't just go and see Adam Savage. That's not a thing. On purpose, Brandon. You're gonna make people think I know the guy. I don't know him. I met him one time at a convention. He was really nice. I made a fool of myself. I think we've talked about that already.
Yeah, we have.
Go ahead, Terry.
All right.
Continue.
So, the Sultana is a story of needless tragedy and greed and corruption, as we were kind of discussing about the corruption. Around this time, the Mississippi River was swollen from spring flooding. Trees and debris all throughout the current. Keep in mind, this was in 1860s, where we didn't really optimize rivers like we do now. A lot of them
we
were
hadn't dredged them or put levees up.
a lot of them were just very curvy and windy, and it's got a lot of debris. While now most of the rivers we kind of, I guess, terraformed is the right word, where we made them more straight, which when it comes to flooding, it's not great because the water comes down faster, but
Right.
it's better for like urban development, or if you want to put a bridge across it.
Yeah, it's better for people who live in cities around rivers so they don't get flooded, but it's actually terrible, I think, for the rest of the environment.
Yes,
because like you said, the water goes so much faster.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole flash floods. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll flood anyway, but you also run out of water faster. It flows, north or from the north to the south. You run out faster the more.
So keep in mind, it was very curvy and very windy. You could actually find before and after pictures of the Mississippi River where we kind of, artificially made it straighter and obviously cultivated it for us humans. Well, there's trees and debris all the way through the river, and as I mentioned before, the water's murky, and they didn't have filters back then for the boilers because they didn't know enough to have filters. So it's just sucking up all of that debris on the underside of the ship.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
great. Yeah, all that muck.
Mainline and debris.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for you.
And with one greedy captain, do you guys think he did maintenance on his boilers?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I don't think so.
Did maintenance. If he did do maintenance, the boiler would explode.
He spared
course
no
he does
expense.
That's something. Oh, I love that. It's like a Jurassic Park line. Spared no expense. So good. I like the analogy. So Around 2 a.m. on April 27th, the Sultana approached a point about 7 miles north of Memphis, Tennessee. 3 of the 4 boats' boilers exploded.
God damn.
North of Memphis.
Yeah.
3 out of 4.
Yes.
That's also a lot of boilers, I feel like.
I didn't even say that. I should have. When they were picking up the POWs, they had about 2,000 people on board.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Let's run it back. This was a boat that could fit 400 passengers.
Yeah,
They loaded up with like
370-ish,
2,000.
Yeah, they were
5 times more than what it can handle.
That was sorry. I may have missed that back there because the greedy captain wanted he didn't want to be able to fix his boiler because that would cost time, and he knew the federal government wasn't gonna pay like 2 months later to have his boiler fixed to do this shipping route with the officers. So he wanted to get it done then because it was the perfect opportunity to make a lot of money, and he needed the money because, like I said, he was out of ship. So
right. So was he moving? It was from the south to the north, or no? He started in the south.
Yes, he's
right?
south to the north. Yes, he was taking.
He was taking northern prisoners back to north.
Yes, exactly. And they already had kind of like a location where they can drop them off.
Their meetup probably somewhere north of, could be in like, I don't know. Can you imagine getting out of prison finally? You're like, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna see my mom and dad again, my wife and kids.
After you've already been in Andersonville. Yes.
You're on the boat and you're like, man, there's sure a lot of people, way too many people on this boat.
Well, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people were excited to go home, so they didn't really care about the overcrowding as much because they thought it could handle it.
Yeah. But yeah, you gotta imagine somebody's like, this is, I don't know about this, guys.
We're packing like sardines. It's fine.
And then you hear like something start to like whistle, and you're like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Great times. Continue. I'm sorry.
It's fine. So yeah, the 3 of the 4 boilers exploded. Witnesses described the blast as deafening, and it's actually like more. It's harrowing in this story because a lot of people just jumped overboard because the ship is on fire. They jumped into the freezing river. Now, some of them probably could swim, but a lot of them were latching onto other people, and that caused massive drownings throughout this period, and that was terrifying, and people couldn't make it to shore. Some clung to floating debris for hours, and it was dark. It was 2 a.m. So it's a great time for the boiler to explode. Yeah, good time. So rescuers couldn't tell the driftwood from people until they heard screaming.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were people. I thought you were wood.
Oh, and if it's already not bad enough that you're in freezing water clinging onto driftwood, the ship is on fire and it's turning and the flame is going towards you.
Jeez, yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it's definitely not great. So now you have a massive burning ship headed towards a lot of people who are jumping into the water out of panic. This is by far the deadliest maritime disaster in American history.
I can imagine. How many people were on the Titanic? It was just like 5,000, right? Something like that. It wasn't that many.
It wasn't that many, but I think it's less. I think it was less than this. I think this is the worst one.
Hold on. You said 2,000 prisoners.
Uh-huh.
There were 2,208 people or so on the Titanic.
I'm not quite sure on exactly how many people for the Sultana, but I think it's the deadliest one.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm just saying, like, the Sultana is a riverboat. The Titanic, massive, the biggest fucking boat ever made, had only 2,000 people on it, and the Sultana right up there next to it. That's crazy.
Yeah, estimated to about 1,164 to 1,800 deaths. Worst maritime disaster in United States history.
Yeah, that's way worse than a Titanic. This episode of the Bitter Third podcast is brought to you by the crushing weight of medical debt felt by all Americans across America. That was a little redundant, don't you think, Matt? Whatever. Are you tired of getting sick and then having to pay out of your ass for it and losing all of your money? How about this? Consider taking out a loan and buying a shotgun, and then taking care of yourself the old-fashioned way, in the woods, where nobody can find you again. And, you know, yeah. That's the ad. Thank you.
I like it. God damn, it was dark.
This podcast brought to you by Mossberg.
This podcast is brought to you by a Winchester, the last gun you'll ever need or buy. All right, back to boats blowing up. How many people died? 1,800?
Around 2,000, yeah.
Around 2,000. Oh, that's like almost everybody. That's crazy.
Yeah. Is definitely one of the deadliest in maritime history. So you might be asking, how have you not heard of this? Because, again, Matt, you didn't know anything about this. Yeah,
I've never known.
Well,
to be fair, I try to avoid boat stuff. Just not a fan of boats.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Well, the answer is largely because the Abraham Lincoln assassination and the hunt for John Wilkes Booth, which was the end of the war. And yeah, that's kind of
21st of April, 1865.
That kind of took all the headlines. A lot of people were wondering if this was sabotage, if it was negligence, because if you think about it, a lot of Union soldiers died going back after the war, and it was right after the war. So it could have been, hatred against one side. It could have been, didn't even think about that, where like negligence as of hatred, but a lot of corruption. Well, there were investigations and questions about corruption, but I just honestly think it was just a lack of technology and everybody thinking that steam boilers were the best at the time and not knowing how dangerous everything was.
Yeah, at the very least dangerous, steam boilers, are kind of neat marvels of engineering, but especially back then, I feel like people didn't know all the little sciencey things about if the water gets low and it sloshes up, that can cause a superheated steam expansion and your boiler can explode.
And they didn't know about metal expansions or the weakening, the tensile strengths.
Yeah. Right. Because some of those steam boilers could put out 1,000 horsepower, they were, maybe not back quite then, but it'd be the equivalent of modern diesel engines today, but just slower potential energy buildup.
Yep.
And they're just messing with it it's just a normal Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I'll be putting photos of the Sultana in the episode for everybody to look at before the explosion and after. Obviously, there's drawings of it. They don't have actual photographs of it.
He could have actual photos.
Maybe, but it was 2 a.m. I doubt it.
Oh yeah, I guess not of the. I thought you were just talking of the boat itself.
Probably a photo of
probably not.
of the boat, yeah, but probably not the explosion of it. But to our wonderful greedy captain, Captain Mason, he died in the explosion too, so you don't have to worry about him.
Wow.
I guess that's the silver lining where corruption doesn't, pay out.
Yeah, I'm glad to see karma catch, someone every once in a while.
At the expense of 2,000 other people, yeah.
Right. I'm looking at the Sultana Museum disaster, or the Sultana's Disasters Museum. There's a picture of this guy named Luganbiel.
Oh my God! Yeah, you haven't mentioned the alligator.
W.M. Luganbiel. Apparently, he was saved by an alligator. He had hold on. Go ahead.
So the Sultana had a fucking alligator mascot they had on board.
I did not know anything of that.
I didn't know that.
They had an alligator mascot that they kept on the boat. And
my God.
when the thing exploded, Luganbiel was like looking for a box to get on so he can like, throw it out into the water and, float on it. And the one he found was the one the alligator was in. And the alligator wouldn't move. So he got a bayonet and bayoneted the motherfucker.
He killed the alligator.
Well, the alligator moved. It died somewhere. I don't know where.
Okay,
but
yeah, okay.
Yeah, he bayoneted the thing. It got out of the box. He took it, threw it in the water, and got on it.
That's fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
He's just like, there's a fucking alligator in my box. Get out, go out. Alligators are kind of like, they're not very aggressive. They could kill you, but like, they'd rather just chillax.
They're ambush predators.
Man, yeah, they're ambushed. Sometimes they're just like, what's the word? Scavengers. They'll just eat dead things.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I
That's
had
insane.
no idea about the alligator story.
Taryn, how could you miss the most important part of the story? The alligator that saved him.
Sorry, I was more focused on the green corruption and the overcapacity of a boat.
Hey guys, I'm seeing that on a picture of the museum. Apparently, the museum lies among the Trail of Tears.
Yep.
Road trip.
Sure.
Shout out.
Road trip
Yeah.
time?
On the road podcast.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that's a picture of one of the prison camps. That's Andersonville, I think. That's incredible. So there's also a picture of here. It is comparing it to the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get back up to it. And it is more deadly than the Titanic, I do believe. It had 1,800 died, 1,500 died on the Titanic.
Yep.
1,800 died with the Sultana. And yeah, there were more people on the Sultana, likely, than the Titanic.
Yeah.
Or around the same. And it's so tiny. It's like the size of a house.
Yeah.
basically.
It's 260 foot long. Yeah.
Oh, man.
With 4 massive boilers, and 3 of them exploded. It's insane. So that's kind of the I guess discussed story of the worst disaster in history for ships.
Yeah.
At least in American history. There's also like the sad one, the Doña Paz, which we've mentioned before.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I only know about that one though, because like I said, I avoid boat stuff. I only know about that one because of you, Terry. So you're bringing the boat stuff to me,
Sure.
I guess.
Sure. Let's see. We can
That's incredible.
switch topics here. There is a small update. This one has to do with the missing scientist. There's another missing one. We recorded it, and then there was another missing one.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm not joking.
Another one is connected to. Oh man,
That's just a small little update.
Brent, you weren't on that episode, were you?
No, that was when I was out.
Yeah, we did we get your thoughts on that? That was a
We did not, because I had no idea.
okay. Well, what do you think, Brandon? Do you think it's all connected? Do you think you know what we're talking about? I guess first of all,
I've not really.
Okay.
I've
Taryn,
heard a little bit about missing scientists, but I didn't do a deep dive.
Deep dive.
So, as a quick little recap, back in 2023 or 22, there's been like 11 missing scientists or something like that, and 5 of them are dead.
Yeah,
It's
since then, they're all connected to like
nuclear
programs, and
or propulsion, or
dark fission, dark matter,
or
stuff
jet
like
propulsion
that.
laboratory, or NASA. Yeah, it's our
Yeah.
top industries.
There's one that's
yeah.
like anti-gravity studies or something. Like we have laboratories dedicated to anti-gravity,
Yeah.
basically, or gravity propulsion. I can't remember what it was called, but it's stuff like that. Where like they're just going missing, Brandon. They're going missing. Some of them have disappeared. Some of them have committed suicide, in quotes, because we don't actually know. Because they've been like, if I ever commit suicide, it wasn't me, because I would never do that.
Yep.
And then some of them have been like hiking with friends on a trail, and then the friends turn around and they're just gone.
Yeah.
And then some of them, I think, have actually just committed suicide and died and all of that.
And one
Yeah,
of
that's
them, the
some
most
shady
famous,
shit.
the most famous one was a retired Air Force Major General. That was in February this year.
Yeah, that was the most recent one, aside from the one that you just told us about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the big major general goes missing. He's not found dead or anything. He just disappears. And he's a member of one of these teams that is studying, what people would consider like alien space stuff, the conspiracy world.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, oh, this is how aliens travel faster than light, or this is alien spacecraft stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Brandon.
Crazy stuff.
What are your thoughts? Is it real? Is it bogus? Does the government do bad things?
Yes.
Well, yes, the government does do bad things. A lot of bad things.
Okay.
I would say probably a lot of it is actually maybe being poached from another government, another country's, like, I don't know. Is it China wanting...
Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're being poached. That's probably the best, most likelihood answer, but obviously it's a lot of questions unanswered. So,
Right.
I think they've all just discovered time travel and are fleeing to a time where everybody's not so shitty.
yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna go where white people can be anything they want to be again if they have a little bit of money. Would you guys go back to that time? If you had to be a racist white person, but you could like live like
No.
a king, would you go
No.
back?
No.
Really? That's surprising coming from you, Karen. Wow.
Why is it
Oh,
surprising?
wow.
What did I do?
No, I'm just fucking with you. No, I don't know. I would like to go back to like the 1800s, but that's just because I feel like I would live a better life, like personally. I don't know. I just like the idea.
I feel like you wouldn't mind the simple life, being like a farmer or something.
Yeah, I could do that. I would like to be an explorer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a goal of mine. Not a goal of mine. That doesn't make sense. I could just do that right now.
You go to
I don't know.
go to the Amazon rainforest to find the lost city and just never come back.
Yeah, never come back. Indiana Jones, that motherfucker. I used to have a dream that I would run away, and like when I was 18, I would just like go to the mountains somewhere and live in the mountains, and just like catch animals or kill animals for my food, and build a house out of sticks and stuff like that. Obviously, that never happened. But sometimes I think about that.
Nice.
You guys want to join me one day?
Sure.
Want to go? Oh yeah.
No, I enjoy the accoutrements of modern life a little too much.
Like your internet there?
Me too. It would be tough.
You like your internet, Brandon?
Yes, I like my internet. I like my games.
I do like cheap and easy access to AI chatbots that can role play as lewd women.
Okay. I was gonna try to segue into another internet
Allegedly.
story, but okay.
Oh, good.
So we've already talked about this too, but this is an update. Do you guys remember the underwater cables that we talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the internet. Oh, is that what the internet thing was for?
Yeah,
Karen?
that's
That makes sense. I'm sorry. Well, you know what's also on the internet? AI porn.
Anyways, with our war with Iran, Iran's threatening to cut those cables.
Do it. Fucking do it, please. Please, God.
I think they have since
cables.
shifted that position because they were going to cut the cable there. I think now they're going to try to use it as a revenue source, kind of like a digital toll booth. Generate revenue from undersea internet cables in the Persian Gulf. This is from Times of India, if you care to look this up. Sure. What this means for the global internet users is Iran moves forward with digital tolls. The impact could ripple across the globe. If Iran starts charging a toll, companies like Google, Meta, and Microsoft may pass their new operational costs down to the consumer through pricier subscriptions like Google One or Microsoft 365. If the Strait of Hormuz becomes too expensive or legally risky, tech companies may have to reroute data through longer paths, essentially increasing latency, leading to lag in online gaming or slower 4K streaming. So we've already mentioned about the cables before in another episode. I just figured that was an interesting update.
I feel like this podcast is kind of doing a good job at doing a bad job of explaining how everything in the world kind of connects to everything.
It does.
You know, like we're not experts at it yet by any means, but like, you know, we're getting there. Like this is not the first episode that we've been able to like tie into other things, but it's kind of neat when this stuff comes back around kind of on an unrelated note. And then it's, you know, because initially we were talking about like Ukraine and Russia, and now it's Iran and all of that. And what I say is, why can't these people just get along?
Yeah, that's true.
What's
religion mostly.
it's a joke? Yeah, mostly it's religion.
Yeah, it's
And people who are religious will be like, no, most people who kill are atheists. But it's like, yeah, it's not what's happening right now in Israel or Iran.
true.
You know, I don't know. Believe what you want to believe, but just don't be an asshole. That's the biggest thing. If your religion permits you to be an asshole, you're still an asshole.
I do have one smaller story we can talk about, and it's driving me nuts.
Bring it up. Is it a steering wheel on
It's
a boat?
another boat story. It's another boat
attached to your
story.
pants? Oh God!
So
You get it?
it's not a steering wheel on a boat. However,
Attached to your pants?
no.
Driving me nuts.
Well,
Get it?
it's a cruise ship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
virus.
you already know.
What this is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I already know about all about it. It's crazy,
Okay.
man. Are we gonna have pandemic 2.0?
Dude, we are not
that was on
having-
that was on my bingo card.
Pandemic 2.0.
Okay, just to clarify, hantavirus has extremely low possibility of transmitting to other people, so it's not going to be another pandemic. However,
Low transmission, high lethality comparatively.
Yeah, this is like Ebola almost. And like, yeah.
it's extremely low, and this has to do with some people like sightseeing some birds at a landfill. I think is what it was. Yeah,
That's
You know what? If there was any administration that could turn this into a fucking pandemic, it would be the
yeah. It would be like RFK's. Like, no, actually, you have to embrace the.
you have
virus.
to cut the bird cock off and examine it with your mouth.
You can use your tongue to feel its dimples. Consume it. Raw bird cock is good for your body,
oh
actually.
my god. So this cruise ship,
I rub mouse shit on my nipples on the evenings. Oh man, okay.
so this
I was
cruise ship,
taking a drink when you said that. It's okay. The microphone and keyboard are okay.
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 So this cruise ship was docked off the Canary Islands of Spain on Sunday, and epidemiologists and other medical professions from the CDC met the Americans assess their risk of exposure. Most of the roughly 150 passengers and crew members had returned to their home's country on Monday, or doing so. 32 crew members will still remain on the ship as it sails for Netherlands, where it will dock, Spain's health minister Monica Garcia said on Monday. So this is a little bit old now, probably, but basically there was, I think it was rats that gave hantavirus to a couple individuals. I mean, I think it was only one, and then another person had symptoms. I think that was all it happened. However,
I think
because
is it 2 people that have died, but then some other people have gotten it also, like they've been asymptomatic. I can't.
well,
Go ahead.
I believe one person is positive for it, and the other person has symptoms but did not test positive, but they're containing the whole ship just as a precaution. But they were allowed to go back home. I think now they're probably home. But the whole thing is people, at least on the news, holy fuck, did I see them trying to stir panic? And
Yeah.
they were trying to stir it, even though like leading scientists and doctors were saying this is nothing to worry about, you are fine. Like, and they're like, they asked the same question to 7 different scientists, and it just drove me fucking nuts. I'm like, okay, you're just trying to cause outrage now. Like,
right when yeah, it was the same thing when it first was announced. I walked into the break room at work, which was on Fox News, and they were like, could this be pandemic 2.0? And, you know, they were just going on and on about that without knowing anything.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't speaking any facts.
Yeah.
The thing about medical stuff that I feel like also got us fucked in the pandemic is doctors can't just say shit, because when they say shit, people will take it as fact. So you got to be quiet, and that just lets people who can just say
run
shit,
their mouth.
That just gives them time to talk. Yeah. And then you get things like ivermectin and, you know, supplements.
It's so bad because no matter what you do, the misinformation is always going to outpace the actual facts in scientific studies, because it takes time to do scientific studies and research. And also, I'm sure the scientists and doctors don't want to be sued out the fucking ass for saying something wrong either. So they're probably a little bit more hesitant to say something if they do.
I've got an update on the case total and the death toll as of 2 days ago from sidrap.umm.edu from Stephanie Souchere. I don't know these people. If you trust this site, I think I do. The case total has come to 11 cases and a death toll of 3. So 3 people have died, 11 people are confirmed, lab confirmed. Which is a lot, but it's also, I don't know. Like, it's not
COVID. It's not going to be a pandemic.
Yeah, this isn't you like hearing rumors about like this virus in China that doctors are dying from having to treat for so long. Remember how scary that was? God damn. This isn't that. This is a more containable thing.
To be crystal clear here, hantavirus infection is rare and not easy to contract, usually requiring direct close contact with infected rodents or their waste. It is primarily transmitted by inhaling airborne particles stirred up from rodent urine, feces, or saliva, often during cleaning or in enclosed spaces rather than person to person. So it's not going to be person to person. And I think even the doctors were like, well, some people were questioning doctors, like, what if it mutates? The idea of it even becoming airborne, that's not how it's designed. That's like saying if rabies got airborne. It's not mutating in that way, because it's more.
Yeah, it would be terrifying if it was, but this is a direct contact.
The way it's mutating is through direct contact. That's its preferred method, and everything in evolution is saying that that's how it transmits. But like I said, it's not going to be airborne. If it's airborne, that'd be fucking scary as hell. But it's not going to happen because that's not the way it's going to work.
Yeah. At the moment, this is one of those where if the CDC came out and they were like, all right, just shelter in place for 2 weeks and this will all pass, that would be true. It would be one of those things. Like, it, you know, and once it burned itself out, literally, we would be able to go. But who would shelter in place, though? Who was going to fucking listen to that? So that's where we'd get fucked. But still.
I think that fears are being stoked by big toilet paper to try and drive up toilet paper sales.
Fucking Daddy Sharman wants that toilet paper money, pandemic money. God. My dad has so much toilet paper. What? He didn't buy a lot of it during the pandemic. He had it beforehand because he hated buying it for my mom. And so they were totally fine, but it's shitty-ass toilet paper. He's got like 7 packages of toilet paper. And I don't think he's bought toilet paper in 6 years.
God damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have one last boat story, and it's another infection story.
I'm on a boat.
So,
go ahead.
This is not hantavirus. France confines more than 1,700 people to a cruise ship after a suspected norovirus outbreak.
Norovirus. Yeah, I remember hearing about this before the hantavirus thing, I think. And that honestly, I mean, hantavirus scary if you catch it, but I'd hate to be on it because the norovirus thing, you're for sure going to catch that, and that's just going to suck. It's going to ruin your week.
But I don't think it's as deadly as people like. It's not. No. It's nothing to worry about. But I just wanted to mention that there is 2 kind of outbreaks going on, but they're definitely contained, definitely being handled. So
cruise ships just seem like one of the worst places to be.
That's kind of what I thought.
Because it's just like going to a convention. You're
gonna get
like
sick
90% likely to get sick.
Yeah,
going to one of these things.
Anytime you're going out in public with other people, you're probably gonna catch a germ. That's what it is.
Yep, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the ick. And,
and that's why we don't like people. We stay in our homes.
That's why we stay at home.
We stay at our homes through our podcast.
That's why the biggest contact I have with the world is touching fish. I put fish. I go fishing. That's all I do.
See,
go to the store once a week, catch fish.
Nice.
Otherwise,
you have a little like demon spawn that runs around and gets germs from other kids too. So
she does. She's got a cough.
Oh, see,
she developed a cough.
Oh
last
my
night.
God, I called it.
I think it was from being outside so long though. Yesterday, I think it was it's kind of chilly in the morning. She had a track and field day, and we were outside for quite a while.
Yeah,
so.
But all the other kids' germs bring it home to you, and you catch it. It's not great.
It's rough. I get sick way more with the child than I did without a child. But that'll change. She's getting better. She's getting better at like washing her hands and stuff. If she gets really good at it, we'll be out of it. Right?
Hopefully.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Well,
is that the end of the podcast?
I think that's all the stories I got for today. Unless you guys have a last minute thing.
I think we can call it here. It's been about an hour, been about 56 minutes according to my recording. I think that was a good episode, Taryn. Thank you for bringing to light
all the boats.
All the boats. Thanks for the boat knowledge.
Thanks for reminding me why I don't like going out in the water.
Yeah.
But also, fuck you for not mentioning that alligator.
I didn't know the alligator story. I'm sorry.
That's the most important part.
That's funny.
But this has been the Better Third podcast, where we come to you each and every week, and we tell you about things, and you like the things or you dislike the things, and it's good or bad, and we don't know. But I want you to like and subscribe to this podcast, and leave a comment down below. Would you ride an alligator out of a burning cruise ship? Let us know. I've been Matt. That's been Taryn and Brandon. You guys have a great fucking week. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.